Hey everyone, it's Nevin Hollett with the Hollett Group at Royal LePage Atlantic Homestead. Trying something a little different here today. This is the very first episode of the NL Real Estate Info Show. So it's a little show that we're going to do here at the Hollett Group that's going to bring you up to speed on real estate stats, debunk any myths, answer any questions that you might have. Whole goal of the show is to educate the marketplace and let them know what's happening. So tune in, hope you enjoy. Welcome to the first episode of the NL Real Estate Info Show. So wanted to do this show today. It's September 14th. Labor Day is over. Kids are back to school and everybody's sort of into the swing of things. Fall's always a very busy time in the real estate market, sort of right up until late November, early December. And I think that people need some real information as to what's happening in the marketplace to make their decisions. So if you're interested in real estate, we got some great stats for you. So first thing I want to cover is the marketplace, what's been happening this year. I have statistics from January 1st up till the end of August, and I'm going to talk as the province as a whole, and then in a little bit we're going to break it down by section. We service the St. John's market, so the overall St. John's area, so we've got a little bit of statistics by area for you as well. But overall, first, here's what's happening in the province. So far this year, listings are up 5%. On the year, so there's 5% more homes listed for sale this year than there were in 2015. In August, that was actually up 14% compared to last August. So we are seeing a lot of inventory hit the market, great selections for buyers, but that's also driving up the days on markets for sellers, creating more expired listings that don't sell. Good news though, for the sellers, sales are up. So far this year, sales are up 2%. So even regardless of all that doom and gloom that you hear on the streets and is not real, it's up 2% on the year, and in August it was up 6%. So last August things were pretty busy. Well, 6% busier this year. So that's good. Now the funny thing is, and this is going to get into some statistics, is that even though sales are up, sales volume is down. And sales volume is the dollar amount of real estate that trades hands. So on the year it's down 6%. So the number of sales are up too, but it's making up 6% less in terms of real estate volume and money. That just means that the homes that are selling, they're selling for less, or it's a different variety of homes that are selling, more entry level or starter home or mid-range as opposed to high-end executive type sales. And August was no different. Even though sales were up 6%, the volume was down 4%. So that's changing a little bit. So there are some areas that have shown huge growth this year in terms of segments of the market, and there's some areas that have pulled back. So just want to go through those quickly with you. So in terms of our growth markets, from $140,000 to $160,000 is up 13% this year. $160,000 to $180,000 is up 26%, major growth. Excellent news if you're selling a property like that. From $200,000 to $220,000 is up 19%. So we're seeing, significant double-digit growth in these markets. And from $220,000 to $240,000 is up 10%. So if you're anywhere in that range, you're seeing huge growth. Now, it's not that case in all areas of the market. We do have some areas where we've got some pretty significant pullbacks. In fact, from $260,000 to $350,000, which has sort of been a real bread and butter price point for the last 4 or 5 years here in the St. John's marketplace, anyways, that's down 7%. $400,000 to $500,000 has been a very strong market over the years. It's down 10% right now. But really, where the trouble is in terms for sellers and where volume has left the marketplace, and this is why you're seeing the sales volume in terms of dollars traded down, is from $500,000 to $750,000. That's when you start to get into those larger scale or executive homes. It's down 41%. Bad news if you're trying to sell, amazing news if you're trying to buy. So that's just a little breakdown in some of those areas, and this is the kind of stuff we're going to do here on this show. So we're going to take this data now and break it down a little bit by area for you in terms of the areas we service as well. So just quickly grab the data for our 3 largest markets, and that would be St. John's, CBS, and Paradise. That's the 3 largest markets by volume. So we're going to give you a little breakdown on those. So we'll start with St. John's, the big city. So sales are down 1.4%, so not that much. It doesn't really make a big difference. It feels about the same on the street to us. The prices are down 2.5%, so just, not significant. If you look, that's probably about $8,000 on a house. So it's a nice little decrease for the buyers. It's, sellers can stomach it. Everything's sort of moving along fine there with that. And the big stat that we really like to look at is the sales to listings ratio. So based on the number of sales that happen based on the listings available, that number is very important. It can be more important than the actual number of sales. So right now in St. John's, it is the exact same in 2016 as it was in 2015. So that is 36%. So I guess we had a little bit more listings last year in St. John's than we have this year. So 36%, that is very much a buyer's market statistic, but it's not, it's not crazy. But so it's 36%. Of the listings that are available are selling, which means that the remainder stay for sale and are hopefully absorbed in future months. In CBS, sales are up. So if you're selling in CBS, you're happy. It's up 7.1%. So that's a pretty good increase there. So people are taking advantage of the weather and the commute into town and some of the pricing out there. Prices are down 1.9%. So even though the sellers are selling more homes there this year than they were last year, taking a little less money to do it. So good. So it's a pretty decent situation overall for both buyers and sellers out there. And the sales to listing ratio is up 1%. So sales are up 7%, but listings are also up. So it's effectively the same kind of market. Say it works off the same ratio. It's 41%. In CBS last year it was 40%. So the market in CBS is a little better than it is in St. John's, interesting enough. And then Paradise, that's our third largest market in the St. John's area for real estate. And there's some signs of weakness and trouble, I guess, in Paradise. Sales are down 11.2%. So you got a double-digit decrease in the number of sales. Prices are down 5%, and the sales to listing ratio is down 10%. It's only 35% right now in Paradise. Last year it was 45%. 45% is starting to get more to a balanced type number. Now it's down in the 35%, which is very much a buyer's market. So you got sales are down, prices are down. Not a great market to be selling, which inversely means what a great market to be buying. So based on this information, on those three markets, I'd encourage, if you're in St. John's, it's basically the same as it's always been over the last, year or two. Not much of a change. So if you thought the market was good, it's probably still good based on your situation. If you thought it was bad, it's really no different. In CBS, if you are looking to sell in CBS, move, it's a good time to do it right now. You got a healthy sales to listing ratio out there, and pricing is not down that much. Volume's up, so it's pretty good. And in Paradise, if you want to buy property in Paradise, this is the time to be looking at it. You got pricing down, you got volume down, you got the sales to listing ratio. It's very much favoring the buyer. So there's a lot of beautiful communities in there. They have new schools, new recreation facilities. There's a lot happening in Paradise that makes it a great place to live. This is a great time to buy some real estate. So, I hope this was helpful. We'll do a little breakdown. So this is only our first episode. We're going to continue to do this and cover different topics. So if you have any questions you want answered, specific real estate questions, let us know. We're going to do that. We're going to cover more statistics. So like right now, we didn't really get into Torbay or St. Philip's, the rest of the East Extern. We didn't get into Mount Pearl. We'll cover some of that. But we want to try to keep these short enough that you'll actually want to watch them. So hope you enjoyed. That's our first episode, and see you at the top.